Now listen, before I tell you all this shit, because I'm going to go off on some weird DIY project crap, do this at your own risk, because some of the stuff I'm about to say is definitely a do-it-yourself modification to save you money. It is safe if you do it right. It's not safe if you do it wrong, because you're dealing with electricity and water, so don't fuck it up.
Okay, this is 100% legal advice.
Fuck off. I take no responsibility for what you do in your own home.
Come back here as a reference.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely not. If you try and sue me, I will deny everything, and this recording will be removed immediately. Welcome to the Oldhammer podcast, where life meets the mats. My name is Sam. As always, I'm here with Gordon. What's up, Gordo?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you been? How you doing?
I'm exhausted. Fucking exhausted.
He's exhausted from training. Exactly what we like to hear. I was recovering from a cold, and but I got to train today. I'm going to train tomorrow. But you've trained more. You've done a few days now in between with some tough people.
Yeah, it's my second week back. And instead of doing like easing my way back in, it's been going into as many classes as possible. And then now like the accumulation of like the physical fatigue has crept up. So I'm well past like muscle soreness. I'm like my joints, like I feel every bit of like my 38 years and more.
You've got some systemic fatigue going on.
Yeah, like dude, like no, like when I'm trying to like hold people like in side mount. Feeling my shoulders. My shoulders are sore. I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign. And then I'm just tired. Like my grip is going. It's like, and I don't got a weak grip either. So like my grip is going because I'm so my central nervous system is so shot that like I can't get it to do what I want. And it's like trying to sustain itself. It's like it's shaking. I'm like, oh no. And then I'm not thinking. Like I can't like even the first 2 days it was good. Like I was shooting for a single. I would try to transition. Now I just get a single and just kind of stay there. I'm like fatigued. I'm like fried. I'm fried. Yeah, I'm like brain farting against like any level, anywhere from beginner white belts to purple. I'm just brain farting the whole way through. Just obviously the consequences are much greater when I roll against a purple belt.
Yeah,
but no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Yeah, I got to roll with the purple belt today, and unlike you, we were taking it chill. Chill in that particular role, but he still swept me like 3-4 times, and I got to start from mount. So yeah, I can imagine. I've been there where you've been with the systemic fatigue, and your mind just starts shutting off. Like you grab your leg and you're like, "Yay, I'm safe. I can just hang." And the answer is no, you're not. Not if somebody knows what you're doing. Yeah. Just fighting for safe spaces.
I had a different experience. I think the first 2 days they eased me in. Like I got to roll with like some blue belts. I did well against them. Like I guess they're like it's no-gi, so I don't know like what level blue belt they're at. So I'm assuming they're like a basic blue belt or 1 or 2 stripes, that kind of thing. And I rolled with a couple other blue belts. They definitely did not feel like your regular blue belts. They were really good. They were really like they were blasting past my guard pretty quick.
Yeah. This actually brings me to a thought. Like the difference between, so if you're coming into jiu-jitsu and you're older and you haven't done it before, there's sort of 2 levels even within the belt system. There's the fun practitioner level, right? And the competition level. So the fun practitioner is there to, learn, maybe try, try some self-defense. I don't know. I think that's cheesy when they say it like that, but like, good for you. But they're there to learn. They're there to progress. They may not even think about competing. And then you have the competition level, which is more of like where we came from. You were meant to compete, which means you go hard. It may no longer be like a fight to the death, like two bears fighting in the woods, but be aware of that as you are picking your rolling partners. Are you I'm here to learn, I'm here to educate myself on the art, or do I want to compete? Because if you go against the competition, guys, what we were talking about in the last episode, that progression of aggression is going to escalate a lot more quickly than if you're with the other group, right? So
Yeah.
and then
I will say this. Sorry to interrupt there.
no, go ahead.
I will say this, like the gym I'm at, they're really good. Like it's like you give what you get kind of thing. You get what you give kind of thing. So I tend to start relatively slow in a row. That could be anywhere from like 10 seconds to a minute. Then I usually escalate pretty quick based on how like what I'm receiving. But once I escalate, it's like full blast, right?
Yeah.
So when I go against someone better than me, like the purple belts that went against me today, they escalate really quickly. But it's like fuck around and find out. But nobody reefs on any submission. So I mean, I got caught in the heel hook today. I knew I was going to tap once I got caught in the heel hook, but I rolled. So just to practice my defense, and I tried to test the limits of my leg too. So I let it, and he was going really slow too. Like the moment he went belly down, I knew it was like, okay,
It is over.
it's over. But then I let him turn to see the limits. I'm getting a tap, and I just wanted to get that experience. Like, okay, like I know I can get it to that point. Like, I feel that pain coming up, and I'm coming on, and I don't have any real escape. I should just tap it, that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I got caught in a heel hook too, but the purple belt let me do the escape. I'll say it that way. He let me practice the escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was kind of him. But I knew that if he had rolled and I'd rolled with him, he would have turned belly down, and I would have just been like, 1, 2, just let me go. I bollocks this. No. So yeah. But no. But that's just it. The test that assumption at your own convenience is how a lot of the higher belts will treat you. If you're coming in as a white belt, that's something important to remember as a white belt though. You're there to learn. You're there to learn to defend against the attack. That's your number one thing, because you don't go in thinking you're going to attack, right? That's what a lot of us did. But you can't attack if you can't defend yourself, and you're going to get caught with all sorts of stuff. So go in there to learn how to escape, learn how to position yourself, worry about the submission 2 belts later. Right? At least that's my opinion. So it's no, it was an interesting day too. For me, I'm gonna go train again tomorrow night. So negotiated that out. But I want to ask you, since you are suffering from systemic fatigue at this point, and you've done 3 days this week so far?
Yeah, I've done 3. I did 2 last week. So basically, it's Wednesday. I've done 5 classes in like 8 days.
That's a lot.
And then and prior to that, it was like no jiu-jitsu for like, or working out really for 2 months because I tore my bicep. And prior to that, was just once a week with you, and we were taking like 6-minute breaks. Yeah, we were 3-4 rows max. Usually 3 rows, 5 minutes, and then like half an hour or so with technique. And then we go pretty hard, but we afford that luxury because we're taking 6-minute breaks. Yeah. Fuck you! First day I walk in there, it's like you get the thing goes off, the round goes off. So I'm thinking we're getting a 5-minute break or 3-minute break. It's like 30 seconds it's like 40 seconds. And they're like, "Oh, find a new partner." I'm like, "What?" I look at the clock, and I find a new partner, and then it's like we're going. It's not 30-second break. It's right from the get-go, we're starting. It's like, it's a lie. That 30 or 40-second break on the timer is a lie. It's just for you to quickly find someone. So it's extra 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Actually, you can basically have no rest. It's basically how long it takes you to get to a new partner. And really, if you're being honest with yourself, it probably takes you like 2 seconds to get a new partner. So that's your break. Okay. And most of the time, it starts stacking up. So and then I'm so overwhelmed with like the cues and everything. because I'm just getting back into it, right? So
Yeah.
it's built up a lot of fatigue, like this, like a
There's mental
neuro
fatigue too.
fatigue. Yeah, it's the overall neuro fatigue, and the more so than muscular. Just like I'm like almost overthinking at this point. I'm like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, and then when I'm really tired, the mind just goes blank. I'm just like,
Shuts
I
off.
just go back to what I know, and it's like I'm not really progressing. I'm just like kind of like stalling and holding on for like. But I do try to keep the pace up. I think a lot of the people in my position wouldn't open up their game as much. I've been starting guard, like me of all
Nice.
people. Dude, I just like if I can't take this guy down, that's like now we're just like kind of like I'm fighting for like 2 minutes. I look at the clock. It's been like okay, we got 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. It's been 2 minutes of hand fighting. This is stupid. He doesn't want to go on the ground. I just hop into guard straight away, grab his head, grab his arm, and it's open. It's open guard. Okay, what do I know about open guard? So have been learning open guard, butterfly guard. I dragged him into butterfly. I was talking to the Brad out there, instructor Ab. He gave me some advice. He's just like this fight for insight real estate. So I've basically been using. And also I saw some Gordon Ryan's videos. He's telling me just put the sticky hooks in, like flex your feet up,
Yeah.
and just constantly fight for the same advice I got from Ab. I've been constantly putting myself in, butterfly guard, butterfly guard. It's not fun. I'm fundamentally very weak there, but I'm basically putting myself there. I know a lot of people will be like, I don't want to put myself there because it's like I'm gonna get passed. I'm getting passed constantly, man. I'm 20 seconds in, 15 seconds in, I don't fucking pass. Then it's like I have to get guard retention. So I'm learning that, but that's the only way I'm going to learn outside getting like private, like one-on-ones,
Yeah,
which sometimes you can ask questions after class and stuff like that. But like you gotta put yourself. It's trial and error. It's like scientists. Like you gotta like
Yeah.
do all these trial runs. It's suffering.
No, I've been
It's
working
brutal.
on single leg X and X guard for
Nice.
now because that's sort of what we're learning, and that is completely
Mhm.
foreign to me, right? But it's a lot about elevation, right? Getting them over you, getting them elevated, and then trapping the legs and things like that, which is something I've never experienced before. So yeah, I get passed all the time. And then today, actually, I was rolling with a guy who's a white belt, but because we kind of just got partnered up for technique, and we were standing there, I'm like, you want to go? And well, I started in side mount, right? So for me, when I was on his side mount, it was great. But then when he on side mount, I was remembering the stuff like, okay, well, I know I'm not going to reguard perfectly, but I can get into half guard pretty easily, right? Or I can spin out. And so I was just practicing those things. Okay, now I'm in half guard. What do I want to do with my shield? Get that underhook. Great. Underhook. Get the underhook. Okay, reguard. Go into trying to get him up. X guard. Great. Stuff like that. I will admit that I fully utilized my side mount pressure to go into north south and do a reverse arm triangle on him, and it made me feel happy. So
And that's actually the only submissions I've been getting. Arm triangles. Is once I get a side mount, if they give me the arm triangle, I'm snatching it up. I just go straight to mount. If they don't, like, if I
yep.
can't dish the arm triangle, I just go straight to mount. I've been looking at like a lot of like mounting
arm,
concept.
arm triangles are quite effective.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's just uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable. And what else? I got a north south choke a couple times. It's just basically anything there. And also like when I can't get anything, I'm basically just kind of being like a judo player. I just do like a lot of kesekatame. You know kesekatame when you
Yep.
sit out. So I'm controlling it. It's the arm and head control kesekatame. I would prefer a head, like a full head, and then arm, lifting the arm up, like kesekatame, rather than where the two arms and the head. So I get a lot of control when they frame out on me. I switch my hips and I go back and forth. So it's basically a stalling game, which is really terrible. But I'm trying to catch them when they turn to the side. I can sink in the cradle. Like the moment their knee comes past my knee at any given time, I learned from my bicep tear.
Yeah.
For you. So what I do is the moment they get their knee in, I pin my knee against their knee like a shin on shin, and I scoop up my cradle straight away. If I can't get the head cradle, I don't fight for it anymore just because I'm afraid to tear my bicep. I feel like if I also get the cradle, like I fight for the cradle, I could gas myself up, which is dumb because like I just fight for it. So I get the arm cradle. It's a weaker cradle, so I scoop their arm and I scoop their head. They tend to go for a Kimura. So I make sure that when I get them the cradle, if they go for Kimura, one, I can't let them regard. Then they can really attack that Kimura. But if I see they actually they on the Kimura grip, just walk across. I just walk across the other side, and that really helps.
What's funny
But
is
against the purples, they've been able to kick out really hard, and I let go of the cradle because I don't want to tear my bicep again.
yeah.
And then they regard really quick, so I just like putting, not putting too much emphasis on keeping it.
What's
So I don't want to tear anything.
What's funny about that is I've been doing sort of the same thing as you,
Yeah.
but my progression's a little different. I do the loose cradle because I learned from what happened to you, right? So if I can really just get them there and they're smaller than me, then fine, it's fine. But usually you're right. It's a loose cradle. They try to bridge or whatever. And what I do is I actually use that to spin out straight to north-south. Because usually what happens then is now I have the arm in. They don't want to go to north-south while I'm walking out pretty quick. So they're going to turtle or they're going to try and come up. But then I have a front headlock right away. So I can go straight into the front headlock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that worked. I passed your guard, and now I have a front headlock, and now I can threaten your back. So I find that, for me at least right now, the cradle is really good to get past half guard, or the cradle pass is really good to get past half guard. But then I want to transition. I don't want to get into cradle. I want to transition to something else pretty quick. Because it's an awkward, it's a horrible position for them, but it's just an awkward position. It can be an awkward and dangerous position for you too.
Well, I changed it up to make it safer. Essentially, made it do properly. Once I get the cradle, even if it's a very loose cradle, I hook their feet now. See, with you, I was trying to get you tight. Then hook my feet, sit out, and hook your feet, and turn back the other way. I realized that even if I can't get your head, I'll hook the foot, hook the leg, the top leg.
Yeah, you'll put the leg over.
Yeah, the hook, and I switch my hips out, hook the leg, and then I switch my hips back. Even if I can't get the head anymore, I go straight to dope mount. Like dope mounts, go straight to dope mount, or I spin around and then I take it back from there. And then now I've got the safe, the safety grip. I have the back and I scoot them.
I've seen that move. I haven't tried it yet. Actually, mine mentioned the same thing. Actually, it's like, if you're in the cradle, you can hook the leg, and then if they try to spin out, you let it go, and you go straight to mount. So I just haven't had an opportunity to try it.
I've been looking for it too. Like I'm not forcing it. I look for it. I kind of like set it up that way.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, that's fine. But I've been doing like a lot of mistakes. So I guess I don't want to make excuses, but I'm exhausted, and I just got to accumulate this fatigue. Impose this, just like the SAID principle, and then my body will adapt to this stressor 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months online, and then my body will be streamlined for this type of training, and then I'll be just blasting through it instead of just being exhausted all the time. Because I'm rolling with these white belts, I'm crushing them, and a couple of these blue belts, and I'm doing really well against them. But they seem fine, even if I'm on top the whole entire time, attacking. For the roll, I'm exhausted. And they're just walking off. I'm like, yeah, thanks for the roll. And then they go up to somebody else and they roll like 5 times. I'm only just as many, but I'm like destroyed.
Well, I mean, okay. Couple things.
Don't know how much younger
they are. Because youth play is important. Don't know how much younger they are. I don't know how much younger they are than you. The blue belts.
Oh, yeah, dude. Today I'm the second oldest guy. There's Ross, the head instructor. Yeah. He's 41. Black belt. There's, what is it? Is it Scott? Yeah, he's a detective, retired VPD detective.
Sure.
He's a brown belt in judo. His grips are insane. He's like, I don't really lift weights because it hurts. I'm just trying to stay in shape. He was gripping me. I couldn't. It was like I was hand fighting him. I was like, dude, this is a losing battle. His grips were so good. His hand fighting was so good. Anyways, he was like 57, I think, 56, 57, right. And then there's me. I'm 38. I'm just like, I remember being one of the younger guys in class. Remember, we were the young ones. Yeah. We're the youngins. There was like maybe like a handful of people younger than us. And then from like 22 to 24, we're doing this. And I remember, man, when I get to 40, I'm not going to feel the same way as all these motherfuckers. Oh, but guess what? I'm almost there now. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, I'm in a lot better shape than most 38-year-olds, 40-year-olds will be ever.
I would say I am, too, in general. But, systemic fatigue is a huge thing as you get older. Your system just cannot recover at the same rate as a 21-year-old man. You just can't. But that actually brings me to a question. Now that you're experiencing systemic fatigue, what, if any, plans you have for recovery so you can maintain this? We can do an entire episode on different forms of recovery later on, but Have you thought of a plan? Have you thought of any options?
Without sounding like I'm making excuses, it's really hard for me to like make a consistent plan. Mainly because I work night shifts, right? I work night shift, and then I take 2 weeks, and then I get a week off, and I'll rotate back on for 2 weeks during the day. So it's like it's kind of fucked up, right? And but I know after training, I could be doing like ice baths and stuff. I actually find that personally, I don't like ice baths. One, I don't mind the cold. I just don't like ice baths. And number two, when I've tried it, it didn't give me the benefits. Like that's just me sitting like to the waist submerged. It didn't give me the benefits that I thought it would. What I find really helps is like hot
Sleep.
like baths. But so sleep number one because I don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Last night I got 6 hours of sleep. It was like the most sleep I got. I averaged about 4.5 hours a night for the last 2 years. Like 2 years straight, bro. And prior to that was like 5. So it was, yeah. So I'm trying to get like 6 hours a day.
As someone with sleep apnea, technically, last night I only got 2.5 hours of sleep, even though I was in bed for 8. So I was super exhausted when I got up this morning because not to go into too many details, I took off my mask in my sleep, and anyways, it never got back on. So a little bit different because my sleep at least is at a consistent time. Like you. But yeah, I do like ice baths. But I have a tub that's big enough that I can go my entire head in. But I also like hot baths. I'm working to get a sauna because I have found
I love saunas.
Best recovery for me is like do 2 rounds, like 10 minutes in a sauna, 5 minutes in an ice bath, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and I'm done. And it takes away a lot of the muscle pain or soreness that I tend to get, but that's seems to help me. It's shit for hypertrophy, by the way, anybody. What I just mentioned for you, you will lose if you're trying to get jacked, not a good thing to do. If you're trying to roll the next day, though, for me, it works pretty well.
I think I don't mind, like, if I could. I don't like the waiting, like, for the ice bath. Like, if I could just finish train for an hour, 2 hours, like I do, step off the mats, rip my clothes off, and then jump into the ice bath, yeah, I would do it. Yeah. And then I have to drive home, fill it up, and then even if it's ready for me, say, like, it's ready for me. And by that time, it's like, yeah, fuck no. Let's go take a hot shower. And every time I take a hot shower, I feel better. Like, I take hot showers, too, and then hot baths, and I just sit there.
Not to get into too much of the science of it, but cold baths are basically able to push blood into your system to take away a bunch of lactic acid as one consequence of it. It also does decrease inflammation, which is why it's not good for hypertrophy, because inflammation is required for your muscle to grow, and that helps. That's why ice helps you, right? It doesn't help your joints, by the way, and it doesn't help your tendons because those recover differently. Hot, on the other hand, loosens everything up, allows you to move, allows you to breathe. So if I had to choose one personally, because I have an ice bath. It's like a 100-gallon tub that I bought in the States and drove across the border that I filled with water.
Nice. You have a nice setup.
And it sits outside. So I didn't get to go in it today after training because I actually had to train a bunch of people for work. Otherwise, usually I'd come in and basically face plant into the thing for 3 to 5 minutes, get out, go have a hot shower, and come back to work. But if I only had to choose one, I would choose a hot bath with Epsom salt up to my neck almost every time. Yeah.
If I couldn't get a hot bath, I would like is it sauna or a steam room? Do you know where it's like all wet towels?
Yeah. So you got two other options. You got 2 other options for heat. You've got a sauna, which is usually done with infrared light, and it's dry. And then you have
that's the dry.
Yeah, that sauna's dry. Sauna's dry. Infrared light. I actually have an infrared light in my gym, which if you put like an aluminum foil around, you can create your own little sauna. It's kind of cool. By the way, none of this shit has to be expensive, but I'll talk about that another time. And then a steam room. Steam room is hot. Like, you see people putting water on the coals to create steam.
I like that.
That one is better if you have skin issues. So if you have eczema, whatever, or some other dry skin problem, you probably want to do a steam room because it doesn't dehydrate your skin like a sauna. And it also, if you have any other conditions, dietary issues. What happens in a sauna is your sweat starts pushing all that stuff out, which can actually make you really itchy. Whereas a steam room, because there's moisture in the air, it's almost 100% humidity. It kind of helps negate that feeling of dry, itchy sweat, right? So those are the two options. I prefer a sauna personally, but honestly, it doesn't really matter unless you have some of those issues for the purposes of recovery.
I don't. If I had it in my house, just for the sake of like tidiness, I would prefer a sauna. But if I didn't care about that and I had the funds and the space, I would prefer a steam room. Like I like going in wet. You know, I don't like it all dry and shit. Like my women and the sauna.
If you have some extra money, and I've been thinking about getting one of these, but it's on the back burner. You can buy a portable sauna. They're actually highly rated. They're insulated. Comes with a steamer. Sorry, it's a steam room. It's basically made for one person. It's a full square. It's about $400 on Amazon. 400 Canadian. US, I think it's like $270.
You see my setup with my shower and the bathroom, right? So if I were to just rip the shower right off and use that as the water supply there, I could put that. Is that the space I would need or more?
The thing is, the steamer itself comes with the whole setup, so you actually just fill the steamer with water. So realistically, you just need a place to put it. It's about I think it's like 4x4x8, 4x4x7, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then the steamer just sits outside. So yeah, you could put it in your shower. I mean,
could I just rip out the shower and just like make that room into a sauna like with a bench, insulate the walls and the whole room and stuff.
Yeah, totally. You could either buy So if you do have a small standing shower and you want to put a small bench in there, you can buy an infrared heater. Fun stuff. You can actually buy a infrared patio heater. Now listen, before I tell you all this shit, because I'm going to go off on some weird DIY project crap, do this at your own risk, because some of the stuff I'm about to say is definitely a do-it-yourself modification to save you money. It is safe if you do it right. It's not safe if you do it wrong, because you're dealing with electricity and water, so don't fuck it up. Okay.
This is 100% legal advice.
Fuck off. I take no responsibility for what you do in your own home.
Come back here as a reference.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely not. If you try and sue me, I will deny everything, and this recording will be removed immediately. Just kidding. If you want to do it, say in your shower, you can actually buy it like a infrared patio heater. They're about $100. You can insulate the whole thing with a door. So you're looking probably about $200 if you already have your shower, because you just need to have a nice insulated door. Usually saunas have wood, but that's cedar wood, but that's for the smell. That is going to cost you. So if you want to keep it more affordable, just make sure you got a nice door. Stick the infrared heater in there. You probably want some sort of glass or plexiglass that's heat rated. Don't just go buy a regular glass door or a regular plexiglass door. It's not going to work properly. You want a heat rated one, a heat treated one, and you stick that in there, you turn it on, it's going to get hella hot, and you can point the whole thing at you. That's probably the cheapest way you can do it if you have a standing shower. Anything else, it's going to start running you money. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. There's an idea for you, buds. Yeah.
It is an idea.
If you just want the steam room type thing, my recommendation, go on Amazon and look for one of those freestanding ones. They come with PVC pipe. You can replace that with steel pipe at Home Depot for probably like $50 to $100. But it comes with PVC pipe to hold it up. It's a little shelter. Got a door. Comes with a stool.
So it's standalone thing, like I could just connect it to it.
Put it in the middle of your living room if you want.
Oh shit! I'll just put it
on your patio.
In my patio or something, or my backyard.
They're not meant for outdoors, but as long as it's covered.
Oh yeah, underneath the shed where all the spiders live. Get rid of them and.
Yeah, maybe if you don't want spiders in there, but yeah, then you add water, and it heats it up. It steams it up. I think it takes, they say, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes to heat it up, depending on the cold outside or where you have it. And then you got a steam room. And if you want a sauna, you can do the other thing. Again, if you're messing with electricity and water, be careful, please. I've renovated this entire office as well as my entire gym, and I have electrocuted myself more than once. It's not fun.
No.
Don't tell my wife that.
It's okay. She'll never listen to this podcast like my wife.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah.
But we get electrocuted. But you and me, we actually get electrocuted every day because we're married to Filipinos. It's a price you pay. It's a price you pay. I'm telling you. This. I love my wife. I'm in my gym. This also doubles as my bedroom. But it's okay. It's comfy. I got nice soft gloves to keep me company.
This is my office. You can see I have a couch. I haven't had to use it yet, except for naps. But yeah, and maybe one day I'll do a tour of my gym. It's over there, but for now, there's a couple options for those types of recovery if you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I guess I do stretches because I'm old.
I don't do nothing.
Doesn't do nothing.
I don't. I'm actually like, aside from if I could just do the splits, which I cannot at all, then I'll be perfectly happy with my mobility because everything is pretty good, especially after I tore my bicep. Now my shoulders feel fucking great.
Yeah, because it's all loose again.
Yeah, it's like hindrance. It's like a hindrance to my lifestyle.
How'd you get better mobility in your shoulder? Well, I tore my bicep and now it moves properly.
Yeah. No, it's not hindering me, bro.
Not
right. Yeah, I do that. If you haven't torn your short head of your bicep, you don't know what you're missing.
I like my biceps just the way they are. I'm good. I'll keep
But you need mobility, bro. You need mobility.
Hey, before you tore your bicep, my shoulder mobility was better than yours. It's not saying much, but it still was better.
My shoulder mobility is great now. It's not great. It's good. It's solid 7 good. Most days. Yeah.
Some of that.
But I feel the right side acting up, so I gotta be careful. Just waiting for that thing to blow up. I can never cradle again.
Well. Learn a different move, I guess. There's always something else. Never. No. Just dirty cradle to a filthy knee drive. Face.
I want to tell you something. Speaking of the cradle, yesterday I finally was able to utilize the cradle more because I roll with a mix of 2 purple belts, I think, and then 3 or 4? 3 white belts, and then a blue belt. So the purple belts, I was just like a wash, like I was getting crushed. And then it was such a blur, I don't even remember most of it, to be honest. I was so tired too. I hate it when I'm like exhausted, and I'm trying to like go against purple belt. Like I never start with purple. That's the key. I need to start with the purple.
Yeah, when your mind's still kind of fresh and your body is not racked. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went against Ab, the brown belt.
Right.
Just questionably played to me. And then I went with Ross. Ross was actually that was my easiest row actually. With Ross, the black belt, because he basically let me. He's like, I'm just gonna work with you, bro. I was like, that was my last row, second to last row. I was so tired. And then he's like, it's okay, bro. And then he's great. He's like, you know what? I'll just say this. This place has been exactly what I needed to come back. At my age. Like. You try not to go in with any ego, but you still got some pride, right? You don't like to. It's not fun for a 26-year-old just to smash you left, right, center, and every man. I think most men want to be able to fight and be able to handle themselves. So like jiu-jitsu or any combat sport, but primarily jiu-jitsu will humble you really quickly.
I think
because you got guys like half your size just brushing.
I think jiu-jitsu humbles you in a very different way because you're in such close quarters than other combat sports, especially the striking sports. The striking sports take incredible technique, incredible skill, but there's still the distance, right?
Well, not just that.
But like jiu-jitsu, you are face to face with each other, and when you're the bigger guy and they're the smaller guy, you think you should be able to overpower them, and then suddenly they've got you in a weird lock, and you're like, oh, never mind, I'm screwed.
Well, jiu-jitsu is way more intimate. It forces you to
That's true.
Be right up there with with the guy you're rolling with, your opponent. The thing about striking is like, as good of a striker, as like a person could possibly be, you can go against someone who's like relatively basic, and he's all right. I don't mean complete shit, right?
Mm.
And they have that King of Francis Ngannou power. So immediately you're just like have to be careful because
One slip.
that one or two punches that doesn't matter. I'm great. I one time that's it. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, you don't really have the same, not to the same extent. This, obviously,
You
Brian
could
Shaw,
catch somebody in something if you kind of know what you're doing, but
it's
like the
so unlikely.
likelihood that it would have to be picture perfect.
Yeah, it would just
And
have to. You would have to be so close in levels. So like, we're talking about high levels. So it's like a brown belt, like a legit brown purple belt. Let's not even go out that high. A purple
Sure.
belt isn't gonna get tapped out by a white belt, and I don't mean like a freak. I'm talking about even if it's a freak white belt with, as long as they never trained jiu-jitsu or they're just like day two, like a two-stripe white belt, they're not going to probably tap out a brown belt. And I don't mean some sort of freak white belt, like, oh, he's a former NCAA Division One wrestler. That's not a white belt. I want people
who's
or like
240 pounds of muscle, anger, and corn.
yeah, not even
Like,
not even that. It could be a small wrestler. I'm just saying like
Sure.
they're not white belts, or like a guy coming from sambo. He's a sambo black belt, and he tries his like first day of jiu-jitsu. Hey, I'm up.
Yeah.
He's,
Those are different.
that
That's
kind of
very
thing.
different.
Or like a judo brown belt. It's like, oh yeah, you coming here, jiu-jitsu, it's day one. Like, listen, don't
Even a
don't
judo
throw that
brown
garbage
belt
on me.
goes about
Dude, they're
against
not white belts, man.
Yeah, well, even a judo brown belt goes against a jiu-jitsu brown belt. Once it's on the floor, or if you start on the floor, I still have full confidence in the brown belt not being tapped by the judo guy.
Yeah,
Because of the rule set. Because of the rule set in
yeah.
judo, you have, like, once you flip somebody, if one shoulder's off the mat, you have like 5 seconds to try and submit them. That's not enough time
don't
to
get me
do
wrong.
anything, really, to set up anything. So it's really you're catching them. A brown belt's not going to get caught. Not in that short a time frame, right?
Yeah, unless they also train jiu-jitsu on the side, but essentially they still do jiu-jitsu, right? You got to supplement it, yeah. But no, the older guy I went against today, what's his name?
That's okay.
I think it's Jake. I mean, he's an older gentleman. He's 57, retired, former VPD detective, and he's a brown belt in judo. So when I was grip fighting with him, I'm like, man, like I have a hard time against the purple belts, but I'm really having a hard time against this guy, and he is not a purple belt. I'm like, I asked him like, the bro, I'm like, dude, you do judo or something? He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, oh my god, it was so evident because like I was just losing that grip battle every time, and his grip was so strong. So I've been trying to like, I try to talk about chatting up a bit, and I think after class he's gonna teach me some sweeps, some like foot sweeps and stuff like that, some safer throws. He's an older guy, and he's there to learn jiu-jitsu and get good at it. And I don't think he wants to teach too much, but I think he said he wouldn't mind showing me a couple moves and hear this stuff. I told him also I only want to learn the safe ones. I don't want to really give him a backup, like a lot of the
get your
throws.
Back or get your hip or your knee.
Yeah, because like the jiu-jitsu guys in jiu-jitsu, once the back is there, we're attacking it. So yeah, we might get thrown, but you throw me, but I'm on your back on the ground and that kind of thing. And then I just don't want to put myself in the position.
That's why moving through to a back body lock is so awesome in jiu-jitsu, because now you already have his back and you're standing and you're like, yay, we're taking you down and I've already got your back. So good spot.
Speaking about like taking the back, I didn't realize how bad my defense was. Today we drilled taking the back. Like after we did technique, like going for the armbar, transitioning from the back to armbar, and into a triangle if you miss, and so on and so forth. We started doing like a partner drill. So we got in a circle. The guy, low spoon guy, the guy gets getting the back, take him, stays there, and the guys who are taking the back rotate around until everybody goes to a turn of each person, and we switch spots.
Okay.
It was brutal. It was super brutal. Like I was with the white belts, obviously it was easy. With the blue belts, it was okay. Once I got the purple belts, it was a wash, man. Like they were fucking me up quick.
So they were already starting taking you back.
Yeah, they have the safety belt grip, right?
Yeah. No, I did that a couple weeks ago, and I felt the same way.
Dude,
trying to win head position and get your hip, and then like white belt, no problem. Blue belt, yeah, that's okay. You know, he's not going to choke me. It's fine. Purple belt, fuck.
But actually, I went against a pro belt. And this one I was fresh. I knew I wasn't going to do fuck all to him. So I got the Kimura grip on the safety belt. So it has hand under. I got the Kimura grip. And I drove him to the side. I unmounted straight away. And I went to
he
like,
mounted you?
no, I had him. I had his back.
Oh, okay. You started on his back.
So I had the Kimura grip on my
So
arm.
you went from the seatbelt to the Kimura.
And then I dropped to my side.
Yeah.
And got my hooks out and went straight to
straight to mount. That's
not to mount, but like I'm sitting up, and then I wanted to mount him instead. And that was like, then he turned into me, which is fine. Then we were starting side mount, and then we were fighting a bit. He re-guarded. Then he went to like a De La Hiva. I escaped that, and I went back in. And then his guard was so good. I tried passing it, failed. Tried ripping my leg out again. He caught it. Then it was the whole transition. He heel hooked me. So I got a lot to learn. It's just like, I remember when we were training back in the day.
I'll cut that.
Yeah, when we were training back in the day, the pace was slower. Like, it's still intense, right? But the pace was slower, and because it was with the gi. But even no gi, the game has changed where like people used to stall more no gi. Even guys who were active guards, the white belts there, even though they're like not knowledgeable, like they're base weak, dude. You got fucking
they're moving.
Two stripe white belts. Constantly, nobody is stale, man. Like they are, dude. This guy is like day 5. He's like 6'4". I was rolling him, and he's got super long arms. I could tell he was a little tired, because his hands were shaking. So I just got him the right time, shot him for a takedown. We wrestled a bit, and then he reached over. I faked the takedown. He went down, went back up, and I got him down. Real super simple, like single leg, like sloppy even. And I passed his guard. I mean, then he regarded really quickly. He was in butterfly. So most white belts in butterfly back in the day, they were just like, oh, fuck, what I do? This motherfucker was trying to elevate me, get my hips over his, like,
chest or whatever.
Center gravity right over his hip, over his chest, so he could talk. He was on it, and he's like, I'm like, dude, how long have you trained? He's like, oh, 5 days. I'm like, what the fuck? Like 5 sessions, like in 3 weeks or like 2 weeks. Total.
Oh, what?
So they're taught.
So he was too trained from somewhere else that came over?
No, he wasn't. He's done 5 total Jiu-Jitsu lessons, and then
so he was
mindset
base level white belt.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 6'5", base level white belt. So I realized really quickly that, and all the things that Ross was saying, my instructor, dude, the guards are active, man, non-stop, man. There's no stalling. It's like there's no take a breather. It's like this constant, like it was really evident when it did with the white belts, because that was like their go-to. The go-to was not to stay still. Even guys that were training 3 months, 4 months, they were constantly moving. What you get when we roll together, you say, "Oh, I'm constantly moving." Dude, man, I'm a sloth compared to them. Dude, when something doesn't work, they go straight away to something. Especially when I went with the purple belts and blue belts. The moment something doesn't work, they don't stay on it. It's like boom, boom, boom. They transition. Oh, failed. Okay, I failed this. So I got failed that. It's like constant, and so it's like that's why I'm so tired, because I'm usually the one pushing the pace. But then when I push the pace, I pass them. Usually I can control them really well. But then they're working really hard. Usually, like when you see a guard pass, people go, "Oh shit!" There's that pause, right? Like, "Oh, you passed." Not with these guys, man. I pass, dude. They're framing, it's like you can see their feet creeping up, even if there is a pause, because they're waiting for next move, and to get out there. So the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's fried.
System.
The whole mindset, the system, whole mindset now. The philosophy is just you gotta move. And I was talking to Ross when I was rolling Ross. I told him, man, after the roll, I'm like, dude, I'm super exhausted. He's like, he's telling you hang on to a move too long. Say you guard passing, it gets stopped. You try to readjust, crush it, it doesn't work. Then you try to readjust the same
for the same pass.
Like same pass. Fuck it. You gotta go smash the other way. That doesn't work. You gotta go back. Then you gotta disengage. Maybe you gotta go. Guard passing used to be especially with the gi. Said if you do it over under, like the over under, one leg over, one leg under, you can really hold onto the gi and snail your way through the whole thing. Yeah. Like the guy who started BJJ Fanatics, Bernardo. He's 5-time world champion in gi. That's 99% of his guard passing. He's like known as like the fucking greatest over-under passer of all time. But you can snail your way through that, right? With the gi, but you can't do that with no gi. It's just way too slippery, and
Yep.
so you gotta transition faster. So he's trying to change my mindset of like you can't sit there and like wait anymore. You gotta, and it's like he's like so many times he said, "Saw you roll." He's like, even with me, you should take the fucking leg. It's like the leg is there for you. Just drop back, spin off. It's like I'm like I don't see it. I don't see it because I'm such a novice
You
when it
mean
comes
go
to
you mean go into some sort of leg lock?
yeah, just
So
even
it's like,
taking leg, just sit back so they have to defend it. So then I would wrestle back up.
right. So
You
you'd
know?
sit back into like a faux leg lock and then get
But
them
even
to
if it's an
defend
actual
that.
leg lock, just
Well,
because when then
I meant
they start to
faux
chase
like
the
you
defend.
don't expect to finish it, but it's there,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
that kind of thing.
when they go to defend it, then you transition back up, and then if that doesn't work, then you transition to a different
Yeah,
pass, and right, so you're constantly on the move in a flow.
yeah, yeah. And for me, it's like before I was like dead set, never giving up my position, top position. Like I'm not dropping back for fucking shit, man. I'm just
Yeah, you
gonna
want to go forward.
like. I was like telling them, like, man, like back in the day, I was like told never to pull guard unless I'm down on points, and it's like 30 seconds left, a minute left, and it's a Hail Mary attempt. Like you always got to fight from the top. I will admit the fight the top is better, but they're past to getting back on top. Like yeah, I like I pull guard to wrestle up, so to take you down because I'm shooting upwards. You
Uh,
know that you got to come down to me. It's a little harder, right? So instead of me trying to force myself to your legs, I'm already at your legs. You come and you can wrestle up, and I'm learning all these things, and the strategies are so much more different, and they're more open, and I like it. It's a learning process, and
it
I
is
know
learning.
that yeah, in the next couple of years, I'm going to be very good.
It's
And
definitely different. I think I like it better too. There is more flow to it nowadays, less just holding on and gripping and
more
crunching,
dynamic.
more
It's more
dynamic.
dynamic.
So
Yeah, more dynamic.
on that
And
note, I think maybe we should let you have a nap, my friend, if you
yeah,
can,
maybe
maybe. But no, hey,
not luckily, but yeah,
I'm really happy that you're having good training because we haven't trained together in a bit. But once we get together, it's going to be a whole new day.
Mhm.
Hopefully soon. But
yeah,
yeah, brother, it's
yeah, for sure.
listening to you learn and knowing what I'm starting to learn. It's feeling good. It's feeling a
Yeah,
new path.
very exciting. Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
cool.
good man.
On that note, thank you everybody for listening. Of course, like and subscribe to the Oldhammer podcast, Oldhammer Combat Club. As always, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, see you guys.